Hi, this is Casey, and today I'm going to talk to you about an add-on provided by Google that can be used within their Google Docs, and it is the add-on called Kaizena, and what that allows is multiple options for commenting and feedback for student learning. So before we get started, we have to make sure that you know where to find Kaizena and you have it installed on your computer. Or within your drive. So as you open Docs, you will notice that you have some tools up at the top. You will need to go to add-ons. Now you can see I already have Kaizena added to my Google Tools, but if you don't, then you will simply go down to Get Add-ons. And here you would type in Kaizena and it will bring you to the add-on. Now these are all different add-ons you can use within your Google Drive to help make your learning and your product even better, okay? But I have Kaizena already added on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using that when I receive feedback back on my paper, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a second. So what I have here is I've created just a very simple doc. I have a couple of different types of figurative language here on my paper, and I am going to share this with either what a student would do is they would take it and they would share it with their teacher, they would share it with a peer so they could provide feedback. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to share it to another one of my accounts. So here I am. I'm going to share it with my Mexico account, and I'm going to hit send. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my Mexico account. I was on my other account. I'm going to open up my Mexico account, and I am going to retrieve it. Here it's telling me that I shared, that Casey at Gmail shared something with me. So what I'm going to do is I am going to open it up. Well, there it is. Okay, so now I'm opening it up. And I can tell that I'm in my other account because I have my other account address up top. So if I'm going to provide feedback, I also need to have Kaizena as part of my add-on tools. And here I do. I have Kaizena, so I'm going to open it. And what you're going to see is Kaizena is going to open up their tool on the side. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you today just a very basic type of Kaizena and how it can be used. And then I will put a more advanced way that Kaizena can be used. There's tons that Kaizena will do. But my recommendation is to start small, get used to the couple of steps that I'm going to show you, and then move on to everything that Kaizena can do, because that will only add to the learning experience. So what I'm doing is I am highlighting, and it'll give you prompts. Add a new highlight. So I am going to highlight, and I'm going to provide feedback. Now, as you can see here, I highlighted it, but I also can choose my highlighted color if I want. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to give an audio feedback. Now, in the past, through Google Docs, we were able to comment off to the side, which was fantastic. But sometimes the translation of what the feedback is actually saying, sorry about that, sometimes the feedback can be lost in just typing a comment. So what we're going to do is I am actually going to give an audio comment. So I'm going to hit the microphone, and I'm going to start recording. Hey, I really like this example of a simile. Please make sure you add more details because you really want to grab that reader's attention and you want to make them actually see the color blue in their heads. And I stop recording. Now you can see that it was processing, and here is my response. Hey, I really like this example of a simile. Okay, if you decide that you don't like it, you can hit the X and you can record again. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide feedback on this one here, but I am going to provide a chatted feedback. And I'm going to say, great use of metaphor make sure you add details so we know why he is a monster. Okay? And then I'm going to add the text comment. Now, you can see here that it's actually going to allow me to provide another type of comment, but we're going to hold off for another post for that, because this is where you can actually attach to a lesson, but we need to create those lessons first. So we're going to hold off on that for a while. Okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this back with Casey, with my other account, so she gets it. All right? And there you go. So now I'm Casey. I am in my other account. I am going to open Kaizena. And you can see I have both highlighted. So that means that I know that comments were given on both of those sentences. Okay? So I opened my Kaizena. And what's going to happen is it is going to give me both of them highlighted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my one, and it has the sky was as blue as sapphire. So when I click on it, now it opens up. I love this use of figurative language. I love this example of, okay, and there you go. So now I can hear it. Here is my other example of the metaphor of the feedback, and I can tell because it's highlighted. Okay. If I want to give feedback going back, first you need to highlight. So what I could do is I could say, I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to say new feedback. And what it's going to do is I'm going to say, I'm going to give, yes, I was planning on adding some more detail, but I just wanted to get the thought down so I didn't forget. Okay, so now when I share this back with my original person, they'll be able to put my reply back on there. So these are just a couple of ways that you can use the audio and the commenting feedback for Kaizena. Powerful tool. I would highly recommend using these two components. And then when you're ready, moving on to all that Kaizena can offer. Thanks.